Alright, now that that's done, we can continue our space program. Thank you all for returning for the third episode. Now we're picking up basically right where we left off in episode 3. With the beginning of our next program, Eclipse 1 shall be our first attempt to orbit Kerbal. Yes. And what we can do is begin going into the research and development building, where we are first going to research advanced rocketry. And this is the key to giving us the ability to orbit. Now that we've gotten that, we could always go for general construction and aviation, but do like more science. Now the question is, or I could get a new MechJeb module. No, I think I'm going to go with space exploration, just because it will give me a barometer which will help me get more science. So we're going to go ahead and do that. That's going to take us down to 4,906 funds. What do we have? Our only contract right now is to orbit Kerbal. Do we have any other of these? Suborbital trajectory. We could do that, but that's not very reasonable. All of these are ferry contracts. No, I think we're going to have to go with this one just because we need the advance on cash. So we'll go ahead and try that, but not in this mission. That will be subject to next mission. For right now, we're just going to hop into the vehicle assembly building. Spaceship, command pod, and on the top here, first thing we're going to do, heat shield. We're going to throw this ablator down to about 40 because we don't need all the extra mass. And a parachute. Below that, stack decoupler. We don't need a Science Junior actually, but we do need a press map barometer. We're going to attach 2 of these mirrored. Wait, should we do 2 or 3? Let's go with 4. You know what? Let's do 4, just so we can make sure that we get all the science we can possibly think of. Alright, and then below that, an FLT 400 and the Terrier liquid engine. Below that, we're going to add a stack of 2 FLT 400s and the swivel engine, I believe. Well, let's get the Werner checker out of the way. That gives us an ISP of 320. Yep, that's better. And below that, let's just go with these static wings, because the swivel already gives us enough corrective power. And actually what we're going to do is just to make sure we're steady, we'll put another pair so that when this comes off, we'll still have some aerodynamic power. I don't know if those are ultimately necessary, but we'll see. Actually, it looks like I am going to need another FLT 400 fuel tank. That gets us to about 4,400 delta V. Remember, it's better to be safe than sorry. So we're going to... Actually, it would be more efficient to go ahead and put you up here. That'll guarantee we get into orbit as long as I fly it relatively efficiently. This will be Eclipse 1. Make sure we get rid of that monoprop. We still don't need monoprop. We are not that far into the game yet. Alright, so we're going to get a bit of science doing this mission. Don't need any of this stuff. Yeah, we are going to go into orbit though, so I mean I could nah, you know what? I still don't need life support because we're not going to be up there for that long. We'll probably do 1 or 2 orbits around. And of course, Jebediah is going to be our pilot because he is a pilot and we need a pilot to pilot this craft. I think we are ready to go. Everything checks out. 40, almost 5,000 meters per second delta V. That's way more than enough to get into orbit as long as you fly reasonably. Electricity storage. Ooh, actually, I almost forgot. We are going to need electric charge. I'm not going to necessarily need to put a battery on here, but a couple solar panels never hurt. Alright. Let us go for launch. Let this first mission be in memoriam to Valentina's loss. We said that last mission would be, but, you know, we were just fibbing because it's not very interesting. Atmospheric pressure scan, collected data, and SAS. Go for launch. Oh, we barely got off the launch pad there. Let's go ahead and start a roll, prograde. And so what we're going to do for this is, since we are trying to get into orbit, we're going to have to tilt over to the east. It's always more efficient to do your gravity turn in the direction of the planet's rotation, in which case Kerbin orbits to the east, or rotates to the east. So we're going to try and do that. And actually, we're drifting off course. We don't want to be inclined so much. I think I might have tilted over, actually, a little too much here. I'm going to try and correct us all the way back, because we did not give ourselves quite as much leeway. I need to focus here. I'm going to be quiet for a second. I don't need that. I need... Oh, crap. Forgot to put a mech gem on here. Alright, we are in space, ready to do our circularization burn here at Apoaps to raise our periaps, and we are now in orbit. 75 by 76. That's almost a perfect circular orbit. So that should complete our contract. 58,000. We didn't tell the recovery team that you'd be staying in space, so they're still looking. Great job. Well, that's kind of a harsh, or not very nice. Recent accomplishments. You've entered orbit. Planted. Oh, I didn't know that we'd get money for holding that funeral. Alright. Now that we are in space, we can do a little bit more fun stuff. What does X Science have to say? We can do an atmospheric pressure scan. So we're going to go ahead and do that. We can do an EVA report over... Never mind. You lied to me. Alright. Let's go ahead and take all this data out of these barometers. Quick save and board. So we're just going to do one orbit quick right around the planet. Grab any EVA data that we can grab. There's a few more biomes we should be able to get. The science is always nice. There's one. Oh, I missed it again. I think it keeps saying tundra or something. Maybe that's its shores. I'm not so certain I want to try this. You know what? I think we'll be fine. We're just going to go burn retrograde and bring our Apoaps down. Hopefully we'll land back towards the Kerbal Space Center. So, there we go. It looks relatively close. Once we get back into the atmosphere, everything should drag our speed down. So we're going to jettison that booster. Alright, Jeb, you're coming home. Alright, and we're speeding up time, speeding up time. Alright, actually, I did this almost perfectly. We're going to pretty much land right back at the Space Center. That was a little too good to be true, actually. In fact, if I do this right, I might be able to land back on the launch pad. No, are you... Yeah, no, I'm going to be off the launch pad just by a few hundred meters. Oh my goodness, that was like perfect. I've never landed that perfectly before. I'm only going to be like a kilometer away from the launch pad. That's great. And there goes our parachute. So, Jebediah, tell us, how was your first flight into space? And, I mean, where you didn't come straight back down right away, I guess. You know, we need to work on these interview questions. And... touchdown. You know, I could have gotten rid of that heat shield, actually. Alright. We can do more science, because that's what we're in this for, is the science. Quick save. Hopefully it won't crash. Sweet. EVA report. I don't think a spacesuit was... Alright, get back in there. Quick save and recover vessel. Alright. Well, Eclipse 1 was a mission success. 76.3 science gained for a total of 101. Jebediah advanced to level 1. Sweet. So first thing we're going to do here is go back in here and alright, you know, I think what we need to do is we owe it to ourselves to get general construction and aviation. So that way we can at least start with some of these other contracts here. Alright, so let's fast forward. Come on, all the way, all the way. Here we go. Congratulations. We have returned to the surface from orbit. Yay, 28,000. We're up to 70,000 funds. We are still low on funds because we need to get this tracking station upgraded. And in order to do that, we need more money. So we're going to take a contract. I can actually get satellite contracts now, which would be nice, but... Oh, I'm going to take that. That's always free science. Conduct temperature surveys of Kerbal near Dunford's crevice. That actually might not be a bad contract. Where is Dunford's crevice? Location, scientist, Scourge Delta. I think that's like right at the Space Center too. That's actually a good amount of money. Let's go ahead and do that. Alright. Hold on, I need to make sure that actually is the right one I accepted. Oh, there's two contracts there. That's what that is. I might actually accept that second one, whatever it was. Where's that? Scientist Scourge. EVA report. Oh, that was another free contract. Plus, we get to test out our first aircraft. Hopefully. That is the plan. Airplane. We're going to go with the Mark 1 cockpit. Of course, because we don't really have any other options. Structural. Fuselage. Tail connector A. I think we're going to put some wings on here. Good enough. Tail fin. That looks like an airplane if you ask me. I'm going to give it some engines here, because we got the Juno basic jet engine. Small circular intake right on the front there. Oh, that looks dreadful. But it does look functional. So we're going to give ourselves a steerable landing gear. And then two of these guys. Oh, that's not good. Let's go ahead and put you guys right here. Oh, that looks much better. Where's our center of mass? Not exactly convinced that this is going to be a good design. So I think I'm going to try something else. That looks a lot more reasonable. I'm having some doubts here. Some serious doubts. I think what I want to do is, just for the sake of safety, I'm going to throw another wheel on the back here, just in case we do like a tail strike. And I'm going to turn off steering. And that should give me a little bit extra safety. I don't know though. Here's where we're going to make it real safe, because we don't want Kerbals to die. Although hilarious and a natural part of their life, or their way of life, Kerbal death is not good for budget. Alright, cool. And then, part of the contract says we need temperature data, so we're going to throw a couple of thermometers on here. Hello guys, this is me, and I just felt obliged to mention that I'd noticed in post-production here that I never put ailerons on this aircraft. So, obviously everything works out because I completed my contracts, but just for future reference, don't forget to put ailerons on your aircraft because that will not end well. Alright, back to the footage. What shall we call it? We shall call it the KE-262. If you get the reference, good for you. If you don't get the reference, well, that's okay too. I don't necessarily want the flags on here because there's an accident. We don't want them to know where this plane came from. Alright, and Jebediah is our pilot. Let us go for launch. To be completely honest with you, the runway that I'm about to take off from is absolutely garbage. So it's almost better for you to take off from somewhere like, ooh. Those engines are really knocked. I should probably fix that. Stop! Hold the brakes. We're going to recover that. Technically, I didn't get off the ground, so that doesn't count as a launch. Although Final Frontier counted that as a mission. Oh, what was I going to do again? Fix the engines. Those are knocked engines. Let's... Oh, man. So that's... You think about 15 degrees? Nope. Okay, those look a lot straighter. Much better. Alright, again, go for launch. And remember, we added those parachutes in case we ever get into any trouble. We can just cut the engine and drop the chutes and we should be good. Alright, cool. Throttle up. Engines are actually facing directly in front of the aircraft for the most part. Let's go. Alright, and she flies. That's good. That's real good. Alright, actually, something I should have done first was activate navigation. So, what I'm going to do here is turn... Oh, he is experiencing some major G-forces. And then this is an EVA report on the surface. So what I need to do is make it to this location and get on the ground. So I don't know if I trust myself landing this thing. I think what I'm going to do is just fly to this first location, drop my parachute, and then I'll drive to all the different places. I have a feeling that's going to be very, very boring. So once I get on the ground and get my science started and start this mission, I'll just speed it up a lot so you don't have to worry about all that. There we are. And that's the last one. Let's go ahead and roll our way back to the Space Center. I'll cut this part out of the video so you don't have to watch this because this is just pointless. Alright, we got 44 science. 8 of that was earned from this mission. All of our funds back. Almost. Apparently. That didn't give us all. You know what? KSC, it's fun, whatever. 98%. That's good. Gained no experience, but we did complete this contract. And now we're at 380,000 funds. And I think that is where I'm going to have to cut this episode because I think we are running really, really long this time. I'll have to do a lot of editing and make sure that we're at a decent time. Alright. Thank you for watching. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll catch you next time.